Awesome. So I kind of broke this down into three points. First one is going to be kind of effectively engaging customers. It's obviously at service events, it's a little different. Like we're not trying to pull them in as much, but just effectively engaging customers. Number two, it's kind of like your knee-jerk reactions, right? Your boilerplate responses. Like, is it the same with every single person? It's not an accident. Like people will get five, that people are always buying five or not always, but most of the time are buying 5 or more pieces versus a buy 3 get 1 free. The difference between a buy 3 get 1 free and a 5-piece special is usually about 150 to 200 CPO, right? And because you're just getting 1 piece for free, but they had to get 5 pieces to get that piece for free. When done properly, when executed and framed in properly, a lot of times too, my 5-piece specials will they'll start at an ultimate upgrade, they'll drop down to a builder upgrade, they'll quickly drop down from that into the 5 pieces. And by the time I've gotten to those 5 pieces, it's like, oh yeah, that would only be $570. So instead of $1,000 to the builder upgrade, we basically just took off the block and those 2 table knives, and it's actually only this much, right? And it's a full price 5-piece special. And where is their perspective? Their perspective is what I'm focusing them on, which what I'm focusing them on is you're getting a great, you're getting a great value here. You're getting the 5 pieces you actually really, really want. It's only $120 a month. So it's totally a manageable, doable thing in your budget. And that price, what's great is like in the future, when you're ready to finish out the upgrade, we actually give you the full retail value of all those pieces off the set upgrade. So now I'm planting the seed for the future sale, the future upgrade, right? So, and then kind of using power intros for each program, that's kind of like the third part. So effectively engaging and transitioning into the demo. We all know enthusiasm, excitement sells, right? So it's like, how are you creating an energy, a buzz, a flow of like, hey, we're having fun here. People are buying because the fair's not happening. We're doing these private events. These private events are the best place to get Cutco. Are you high-fiving? Are you air-fiving? Are you doing like, oh, hey, the COVID high five? And you just do the air five, right? Or like you throw out the bow. Things like that. Be silly, be goofy, be fun. Like we use the face shields versus the, a mask. Why? So they can see my facial expressions more. As anyone who's ever had a conversation with me can attest to, I talk very quickly and I also mumble. So, having a mask makes it even more difficult. So it's like, what can you do to respect your customers, but also to create this buzz and this fun and this energy? Again, people can feel the energy you're radiating out, right? So where focus goes, energy flows. Only focusing on the things you can control. Like, it doesn't matter how many people you have in your schedule today, if you have 4 or if you have 20, right? Just being excited about each interaction and respecting each interaction and maximizing it to the full potential. So the first thing is the pre-frame of, at a service event versus a show, it doesn't really matter, but if we're at the state fair, because the state fair is our biggest event, this year, it's like through all my service events, it's like then this is how I start off the transition. So if I hand off the knives to my sharpening assistant, I'm like, so because the state fair got canceled this year, Cutco's allowing us to do our state fair specials here at our sharpening event. We have amazing specials that are saving our customers anywhere from 5 to 30% off. Can I show you what's new? Sure. You can do one of 2 things here then. You can do intro to the, or you can kind of, you can transition to the power intros where you intro each program, ask them which one they want to see. For me personally, what I found most of the time is, again, based on what they've brought in, I'm almost always going right into the ultimate upgrade because that's the easiest thing. I want to get them sold on more pieces, and the easiest way to do that, it's like it's much harder to get someone who doesn't have any of our cookware interested in buying 1-piece cookware. It's very easy to get them sold on more knives. Why? Because more knives are just practical and they already are sold on the knives. So again, the faster we can get them sold and open to the idea of buying more today, the better it's going to be. So you either go through your power intros, which I believe Matt's going to be talking about. So only thing I'm going to say here is it's extremely important to have a very effective, 10 to 30-second power intro on every program that we do. The family program, the cookware, flatware, the gadgets, accessories, the outdoor stuff, right? Whatever the program is, having a power intro on it and why it's a program versus why it's a one-off, why it's a product, right? It's like, oh yeah, like we have the hunting knives, you can buy them individually, or we have the hunting packages, right? So it's verbiage, mindset. And going through the approach, It's like, so again, you're going to go right into your ultimate upgrade approach. Again, doing the ultimate upgrade approach every single time, even with somebody who has an ultimate, right? At the State Fair, Texas, I can't remember if it was last year, the year before, I sold Roger's customer an ultimate upgrade who already owned an ultimate. And all it is it's 9 new knives, right? 9 knives they don't have. And here's the thing, you can be upfront with it. I just sold another customer this at my service event. Like, we filled up their homemaker block. They had upgraded to the ultimate, and then this time we upgraded, or we upgraded to the homemaker. It's just making it a concept. Yeah, you get 9 new pieces. You normally get a bigger block because you already have the block. We actually give you a credit for it. Doesn't matter what it is, right? I had a lady who like wasn't interested in the block, only wanted a couple pieces, and I was like, hey, you were planning on getting your kids some Cutco, right? Why don't we put that into the upgrade program? It's like the same idea as Curtis's, family program. Oh, let's put this into the family program and give you an extra discount on it. It's like giving him an excuse to give them the value, the discount, right? So I was like, hey, you only want she was looking at 3 or 4 pieces. I was like, hey, let's get you up to 5. Let's get you your 2 kids, 2 knives each. That gets you to the 9 pieces. Now we're in the upgrade. I'll just give you the full retail value, the block off the upgrade price, right? So the more we can talk about a package that already exists, then I can flip open to the page and show them $17.55. Now, not like I haven't told them that their package costs $17.55 and I'm going to give it to them for this. I'm like, this is what the upgrade normally costs. What we're going to do is we're going to create a custom version of this, and I'm going to give you a deal on it. And then from there, now the price point that she's conditioned on is $17.55. Everything looks like a deal that's below that, right? So whether it's 9 knives at full price, which is what I had this. I literally just called it the Cutco Fanatic set. I'm like, here's the thing, like, we always know, like, we don't buy Cutco because we need Cutco. We buy Cutco because we love Cutco. We want to have, Cutco's like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. You got to have them all, right? So it's like getting them tied into the fact that people love spending money. People love buying stuff. So like feeding that and just being upfront with it, like, hey, like, you don't need this, but you love Cutco, you love cooking. This just makes it more fun and easier to do. Right? I mean, gosh, I don't use a hammer, a screwdriver, a wrench every day, but I still have all those tools, right? Why? Because it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? So the more we can get people like into that, where again, it's like retail therapy, right? Brian said this retail therapy is a real thing, right? Help them have fun, right? They are saving money hand over fist. Another thing that Josh has talked about is just at the beginning of the appointment, helping them remember and think about how much money they just saved not eating out over the last, 6 months, not traveling over the last 6 months. A lot of people are doing a Cutco-cation this year, Mrs. Jones, and they're taking all the money they've been saving and they're just investing in Cutco, because Cutco, what they're realizing is that they're using, like, what these last 6 months have realized is like the importance of having really good tools in your kitchen. All right, but as you're going through the ultimate upgrade approach, key in on the customer's reactions and body language, as well as what they're verbally telling you, right? So it's like, if they're really negative the whole time, they're like challenging every single knife, I'm like, cool, I need to get to the greatest hits, right? I need to get to the emotional pieces to get them tied in, right? So normally I'll work through the progression up to the salmon knife. Like, sometimes I'm just like, screw it. I'm going to show them the salmon knife video right away. I'm going to get them sold on that one piece. I'm going to show them the bony knife knife right away. I'm going to show them the video. I'm going to get them sold on that piece right away. Right? The more, there's a logical flow to the upgrade, and I always suggest do it every single time the same way, every single time, like, without, doesn't matter what they have, what they look like. But I'm also like the pivot, right? Kelly's often has seen that she's, first time she witnessed this was like probably 5-6 years ago, talking to this customer, and I'm working through the upgrade at the Iowa State Fair, and I like grabbed the cheese knife. I'm like, yeah, and this knife? She's like, oh yeah, I have that knife. I love it. I'm like, yeah, and customer said it doesn't have a sharp tip, so I need this one. And I show them the mini one, and she was like, I don't understand how you just like that fast. It was like you were trying to sell them on the cheese knife, and they already had it, and you just immediately pivoted to the next one. I'm like, yeah, like whatever it is, right? If like, I love this knife, cool. If you love this knife, use that enthusiasm for why they love it and sell them on the next piece, right? So it's, customers gave us feedback and they said, we love this, but we wish it had this, right? We love this knife, sometimes we wish it was longer. We love this knife, sometimes we wish it was shorter. We love this knife, but I just wish it cut this better, right? And so getting through the upgrade as quickly, kind of the upgrade approach as quickly as possible. The biggest thing is though, getting at least 5 knives up on the cutting board or whatever surface, like getting them out of the case and like there in front of them as quickly as possible. Because the faster we get to those 5, inevitably when they go, well, how much is that one? Or how much is this one? Okay, well, like, you know, how much does the upgrade cost, right? Whatever it is, my goal is to already have 5 knives on the cutting board, so that when by the time they ask me that, I'm like, well, the good news is, I mean, most Cutcos, you know, anywhere from 100 to 200 individually, right? Some of them even more than that. But you know, we have this amazing 5-piece special, which is what a lot of people do. And then I go, and wouldn't you know it? And I like point down to the cutting, I'm like, wouldn't you know it? And they're like, oh, I see what you did there. I'm like, yeah, I helped you get sold on 5 pieces, and now I'm going to show you the special, which is the 5 pieces. And then it's like, from there, it's, so some people like to do our whole upgrade. That's like your best value. But for some, you know, but if you don't want to spend $1,700, I'm like dropping that casually. If you don't want to spend $1,700 today, get the big block. We have just the 5-piece special where we basically just minimize it down to the pieces you use the most. Let me show you how it works. And I still grab out the folder and I show them the ultimate upgrade. So that way they're conditioned on 1755. Like, normally you get 9 new knives, you get the bigger block, you get more steak knives. Doesn't sound like you guys would be interested in that, right? If they're not, if their body language has been telling me that, now I'm on their side. Doesn't sound like you guys would even need that many pieces or would be interested in that. So what we can do is we'll just minimize it down to the 5-piece special. And instead of being 1755, the nice thing is that one's only, you know, 575. And because I want you to, you know, like me and want to buy more later, what I'm going to do for you is an extra special deal. I'm going to buy you one of these gadgets, and then I'll grab the gadgets. What I noticed, the effectiveness of that, instead of them going into, it's like, one, it's a pre-close, it's a soft close right there. It's like, if one of these gadgets were to fall into your kitchen, handles first, of course, which one would you get the most use out of? When they pick out that gadget, that's like them saying, yes, I'm in, right? And I'm like, and the great thing is that, you know, we just split it up over 5 months. That's basically like less than the cost of like 1 knife today. You only spend 120 bucks. And because it really helps me out towards my goals and really helps me, you know, helps our team hit our sales numbers, I'm just going to buy you this $60 gadget and include it for free. From there, it's the transition, it's the drop down to, hey, you know, could you live with, you know, it's like if they're not going to buy it for whatever reason, could you live without that, right? Could you live without the gadget? Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll just buy you one of these knives. Like that knife's 100 bucks. I'm just going to buy it for you. That gives you 20% off. That's like a set savings on individual pieces, right? Building up whatever deal it is, doesn't matter. Like, again, I don't talk about like how much it normally is and this kind of this. It's like whatever the, you know, because I want you to like me and get more later, I'm going to buy you this gadget because I really, you know, I'm really committed to hitting my goals. And we skip the gadget for now. I'll just buy you a knife. I'll save you 100 bucks, 20% off. That's like getting a set savings just on individual pieces. Just like I said, I'm really committed to helping you guys get more Cutco because it really helps us out. Be an expert at pivoting. You know, again, it doesn't matter what the 5 pieces are. Helping them realize like, hey, the multi-piece discount is such a better deal. The multi-piece deal is such a better value for our customers. Could I at least show you? You know, if we were picking out 5 pieces, you know, like out of these 5, and then just help them eliminate pieces to get down to the 5. And then from there, again, we can drop down to buy 4, get 1 free. From there, you just go like, all right, if we had to eliminate 1 piece, but again, working through a package progression each time, it's from the ultimate, like always trying to show them the ultimate right away. If their body language has basically indicated to you that they're not a candidate for it, too much money, too many knives, like the block, like their body language will tell you where they're at. And from there, asking great questions, showing them the builder upgrade, from the builder upgrade, dropping off the block and the 2 table knives to 5 cut knives full price. Again, just having that progression you work through, and then all the way down to buy 3, get 1 free. And if you really need to, okay, hey, out of these 2, you know, out of these 3 pieces, which 2 would you get the most use out of? But again, the more that we can at least have that first package we're showing them be 5. I'll have a couple different like kind of power lines as far as, you know, reframing the customers, like, you know, of course you can buy them, you know, everything's available a la carte. A lot of people like to take advantage of our package pricing because it's a lot better, and because it ends up saving you a ton of money over the course of the long run, right? It's kind of like buying a knife a month for the next 5 months. You just get them all right away. So there's 2 ways to upgrade and add on here at the events. There's our 5-piece special, and there's our complete upgrade. And again, it's like if their body language is kind of showed you, like, and you know, I'm sure you probably wouldn't even use half the stuff in that anyway, right? Yeah. So we just had to minimize down to the 5, and then like help them do that. Here's a great power line for a power, power line and power, phrase for, like oftentimes if they have a homemaker shop, they don't use a lot of pieces, for instance, they're like, why would I buy more pieces? Like, I don't even use everything I have. These 5 pieces or tools, right? Doesn't matter what it is. Again, hey, you want to get some gifts for your kids? Cool. We can do multiples of the same piece. Hey, could you use the second shears? Hey, did you guys find the spreader's always dirty in the dishwasher? Hey, when you're making peanut butter and jelly, do you want to have a knife, one knife for peanut butter and one knife for jelly? Right? No cross contamination. It's like, get creative with helping them, because the more and more, like again, the red shears is to me, it was like such an easy thing. I'm like, almost everyone adds on a second scissors in red because they're always being used. Right. So the reason that my 5 pieces, like that most people buy 5, is I help give people excuses and reasons and help them think of and justify things in their head of like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Or, hey, by the way, like, would you just want a second trimmer? Like, that one's always dirty, right? Yeah, like we have 2 trimmers in our kitchen. I've been selling the shit out of the Santoku trimmer, just regular Santoku trimmer. It's the trimmer on steroids. Everyone wishes, like lots of customers buy 2, 3, 4 trimmers. Like the new trimmer is basically that one on steroids. It's a sharp, way longer. I have both of them in my kitchen. In my old set, I had 2 trimmers, and I wish that I had one of each, but I didn't. Right? I can't go back in time. So it's like just helping them get creative with what they could do. Hey, what about a gift for your dad? What about a gift for your mom? Hey, what about, again, when you have access to hunting and fishing knives, we can mix and match outdoor knives with kitchen knives. But helping them realize and helping them come to grips with like the 5 piece is the best deal for them. Why? Framing things in percentage discount versus buy 3, get 1 free or buy 2, get 1 free, right? Because that doesn't, like, one, theoretically, they're getting a better deal if they do buy 2, get 1 free. They're getting a better deal percentage wise than they would even on like that set. So it doesn't make any sense. We always say the more you spend, the more you save, right? So being congruent with that, oftentimes I'm like, yeah, you mix and match any 5, and then we save you 20% automatically. That's the line I used to use. Now, instead of doing that, you mix and match any 5, it can save you an extra, like anywhere from 5 to 20% off. I keep it general, and then I show them the deal. Again, people will focus on what you focus them on. Where focus goes, energy flows. We focus them on value, value, value. Here's the 5 knives you're going to use, or here's the 5, 7, 9 piece special. What's great is we'll get you this package price. And again, showing them on the calculator, and like, and that's only this much a month. So it's probably less than you'd spend at Target, and definitely less than you're spending on Amazon a month. Remember that Cutco owners need reassurance, just like everyone else, right? No matter how good they know Cutco is, right? It's always the emotional roller coaster. So Josh, I had it in my notes, like the Josh Muller Cutco owner reassurance close. If you have that and can post it, that's just money. And then the emotional, walking them through the emotional roller coaster, the Hal Elrod emotional roller coaster. Like, hey, by the way, like, Kelly, I get it. Like, I know you weren't planning on spending thousands of dollars when you came in here. And I know Cutco's worth it. But I know at the same time, and in the 11 years I've been selling Cutco, every single customer, every single time goes through the same emotional roller coaster when they buy. They're always like, oh my gosh, I love Cutco, but man, it's so much money. And then they're like, and then they go down and they're like, what have I done? And then they get it and they start using it and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did it. Right? I use it every single day for the rest of our life. Every single day I pass it to my kids someday. It literally will change, it makes my life so much easier. People buy things that make their life easier, right? There's a reason that, it's like, that all these weird gimmicky things sell hundreds of millions of dollars worth of products and gimmicks, just because people are like, oh, that'll make my life easier. I should buy that. That'll make my life easier. People idealize themselves. So help them idealize themselves. Like, you'll be able to, it'll be easier to make a salad. 5 minutes. Okay, cool. Anyway, so the Hal Elrod emotional roller coaster and the Josh Muller Cutco owner reassurance close. And then it's just like, what's your upserving strategy from there? Again, are you doing it with every customer every time? Are you talking about and promoting every package as well? I've sold well over $25,000 worth of cookware in the last month and a half. And it's like, and 2 or 3 of those cookware sales didn't happen at my event. Like, I sold as hard as I could there, and for whatever reason, they couldn't make the decision. I gave them quality tools. I gave them an extra incentive to do it now versus later. And then, all three of them have, then I followed up with them, and all three of them ended up, buying. So it's, what's your upserving strategy every single time? It's like every customer should be finding out why right now is the best time to be buying our flatware. Because if you do the math, again, when flatware chest exists, it's actually worse for us now because of how Cutco is, kind of dinging us on the, $14.95 or $14.59, and we're only getting 1,100 CPO. It's actually better for us now. Like, I've sold 2 8-piece flatware sets with the serving pieces and CPO'd more than I would have selling them a chest, right? So the customer spent $1,200 or $1,250 instead of $1,400, and I actually CPO'd more, right? So right now is the best time to be selling our Cutco flatware because most people don't need the stainless steel table knife. Again, if you're like, it's like, we have this chest that has these 12 table knives, and like, they're stainless, they're amazing. Like, you should really wait until those are available again. That's insane, right? Sell it to them now. What's great is like, have the pre-frame for why now is the perfect time. What's great is normally Cutco only discounts service for 5. And normally it's only if you buy our 5-piece place setting, and it's only when it's in service for 12. But right now they're actually doing discounts on service for 4. They're doing service for the 4 place setting, the place setting of 4, and they're doing discounts on sets of 4, 6, 8, 12, 24, 36. So it's nice that you don't double up on the steak knives you already own. And again, someone like Josh Mueller, he's gonna go, and I'll actually put you on the short list for when those come back, and if when you want to match those up, right? It's like looking for that second opportunity, but it's like, I've always, like, the chest was like, it was a crutch basically. It was like, you got to get the chest. It's such a better deal, and it was for us, and it was for the customer. But like, when I reframed, like, I didn't sell any flatware for the first like 2 months, 3 months, and then like over the last 2 months, I've been like, I got to reframe my verbiage on it and my thinking behind it, and I've sold way more with the cookware. I've juiced up. I made my cookware sets even more expensive by adding in an extra lid. I still have the kitchen tools in the pricing, and then I just let them know, like, hey, because those are unavailable, we're actually giving you the full price of those off. Normally they're packaged and discounted with it, but what's cool is we're actually going to lock in on the discount. So when those are available again, I'll reach out and we'll get you the deal on those when those are available again. It's like, I've had the guy yesterday who bought a legacy set goes, awesome, put me on that list, right? And then it's like, so then now they have a perceived value that they're getting an extra $300 off when they're really not getting a $300 off. All I'm doing is just removing stuff from the package. And then what I'm doing it for my customers is an extra special, is I'm giving you actually an extra $100 shopping spree. The guy got a free Petite Santoku when he bought a legacy cookware set. Why? Because that's I framed that in as this really big deal that I'm doing right now. I'm giving my customers an extra shopping spree on me as a thank you for doing business with me right now, as an incentive for that. And like, when he called me back, he was like, hey, like, can I still get that incentive? Like that extra knife you showed me. I'm like, I'll tell you what, because you actually called me back, I'll still give you that, John. He's like, awesome, right? So where focus goes, energy flows. My challenge to each one of you is to, again, have that focus and intentionality of like, how can I get good at selling every single product we sell, so that whether you think the Santoku paring knife is the shit, or whether you think it is literally shit, you are an expert at selling it, right? Can you have an expert level at selling every single product so that you can, with conviction and with pride and with intensity, sell every product? So that doesn't matter if they already own a kitchen, you can still find 5 to 7 products for them to buy. Challenge yourself every day to become the best version of yourself. We owe it to ourselves, we owe it to our customers, especially to our division, right? To step up and show that we are the best team in the country. So good luck, everyone.